Hello, Victor Pross here, anarchist artist. Alright, as I mentioned in a previous video, an announcement video, I plan on doing what might be an extended series of videos discussing the Zeitgeist philosophy, which I'm going to entitle Deconstructing Zeitgeist. And it's something I wanted to undertake without delay, but there is one final issue I want to wrap up in order to come to some kind of resolution. Now, as many of you know, there has been a bickering fest on Neil Kiernan's Facebook page, fans of V Radio, that has gone on for months, and because of this, the forum has denigrated itself from discussing Zeitgeist, the spirit of the times, to a Gauntlet forum. Every time I see some belittling or condescending remark made about me there, armchair psychologizing, and all of it accompanied with the little Facebook thumbs up icon, I'm reminded of daytime television. Jerry, 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 Jerry. So it's turned away from discussing ideas and philosophy and capitalism and economics, and it's become a knitting row of old ladies gossiping. It's like a tabloid magazine now. Did he or didn't he? Sock puppet. Amanda. I mean, like, I guess this is an example of people that have a lot of time on their hands. But anyway, when I was on the forum discussing philosophy or ideas, that was the thing. Sure, there was like little ad hom bombs here and there, little snits taking place, but primarily that forum was one of discussing ideas. And Neil did ask me a series of questions about anarchism, about transitioning to a stateless society, and some other questions. And they were good questions. I stand by what I said. They're fine and challenging questions. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I didn't respond to those questions. Just a few. I was too busy, and I lost interest. Now, those two reasons are not mutually exclusive. Let me just make that clear. Neil likes to pretend that he caught me in a little lie, like, oh, you're too busy, and then we learn that you say that you lost interest. So which one is it, Victor? They're not mutually exclusive, so it's both. I was too busy at the time preparing for my talk in Vancouver to the Liberty Mingle people, and I really lost interest. But let me draw out those reasons. A little bit background. I think this will shed a lot of light on how things have escalated to the level that it's at right now. Now, Neil invited me to chat or to debate on his radio show, V Radio, Zeitgeist Radio, and I was more than happy to comply and have that conversation with Neil. Anybody who's following the forum, I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to having that conversation, but before long he booked Mike Shanklin instead, and which is cool in and of itself. That's fine. When I inquired again as to whether he and I would be conversing on his show, he extended the invite again, but he never followed up. So, as I say, my interest in the forum and Neil dwindled, and so I was absent from the forum for weeks on end. But was that the end of it? No. Neil pushed the issue of my answering his questions, which thought I was be having that conversation with him one-on-one on his radio show. And I maintained they are fine and challenging questions, and I would have loved to answer them. And I was more than willing to have that one-on-one conversation with Neil. Now, around this time, I was preparing, as I said, to give a talk to the Liberty Mingle people here in Vancouver, which I gave with Walter Block and Mike Shanklin. Now, it was at this time, just to compound the issue, when Mike and I were talking, having a few beers, that I learned that Neil was to do a 4-part series with Mike to discuss all things Zeitgeist and anarcho-capitalism, And the first 2 shows were to have Mike, essentially, asking questions about Zeitgeist, which Neil would answer. Those shows were recorded and published. The second set of shows was to have Mike making a case for anarcho-capitalism, with Neil asking questions that Mike would answer. Those shows were not recorded. So basically Neil's word came to represent shit to me. I guess there's no nice way to put it, right? But what can I say? I lost interest in the forum. I mean, that's true. It's really true. And I'm keeping myself occupied. I got a lot of things to do. I was preparing for my talk, so I stayed clear of the forum. Weeks went by, and then I learned that Neil banned me from the forum, which I wasn't partaking in any longer. Okay, I'm banned now. Okay, so I guess I'll go on with my life. But was that the end of it? No, of course it wasn't. So Neil hounded me thereafter to address those questions. He's got to ask. He needs an answer to those questions, man. You didn't answer the questions, man. Yeah, everybody's on the forum. That's right. Yeah, he didn't answer those questions. Right? He ignores you. That's right. The Frankenstein mob with the carrying out the torches. So he felt himself snubbed. I guess he forgot about his initial invitation for he and I to talk on his radio show. But I don't know. Memory loss, I don't know what it is. I don't know. But this is this is just to give you the background. This is how this little internet drama started. This is how it escalated to the level that it is today. But I do want to make a resolution. So again, I'm offering my willingness to have that conversation with Neil. I mean, I want to have that conversation with Neil. I was put off for a little while there, with all that shit, him asking and extending the invitation, doesn't follow up on it, and time going on and on and on, not dealing with the question. So I'm putting the offer out there to have him ask these questions of me. He can put me on the spotlight. It can be a debate. It could be a discussion. Maybe he'll mop the floor with me, philosophically speaking. I expose myself to the risk. I don't know what it is. Maybe I can make a point that might have some relevance, that might not be emptied of having anything substantive to it. I'll try my best. I honestly will. Neil, you can ask whatever questions you want pertaining to the questions of philosophy and anarchism. We're going to leave the bullshit, gossip, old lady, Jerry Springer show to the side, and let's discuss philosophy. I put the offer out to you because it seems to be so freaking important to you that you felt snubbed that I did not answer those questions. You have repeated it ad nauseum, so I am putting the offer out there. And so now we can all see where Neil takes it. So the gauntlet has been put down. This is Victor Pross signing out. Anarchist artist, pop goes the culture.